Right, hi everyone, we're back here at my Club Moor hub, as you can see behind me, and we're actually here to clean up some of these beds in preparation for us putting in some lettuce, cabbages, collies and what have you. I've got me help with James who's come along to help me, so I'll just do you a quick video of showing you what we're going to do, and then we'll show you the progress that we make when we're planting out in a couple of days time. So these are the beds that we're going to be working on. This one needs heavily weeding, and here's where we've had the potatoes in. Needs a little bit of a weed out, but nothing spectacular. That's coming along. You can see there we've got the Maris Piper in, and the onions that we put in a week or so ago, they're standing up nice and proud, looking good. Any little bits of weed you can see there, we'll weed out through that. And we're going to prep this bed for the herbs. We've got some herbs are all ready to come out. We'll take out any that we feel are not surviving. We'll put in some fresh ones. And these two beds, I think we're going to do the lettuce in this one. I've just spoke to James about it, and he feels that this bed here is ideal for cabbages and collies, and these beds would be better for the salads, smaller beds.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, okay. So we're more or less to the end of weeding these beds. This one here has been quite hard. It's only because stuff has not come out, but that's not a problem. Once the noisy van's gone past. The thing is with this, it's just basically digging down, taking out as much as you can, and then we'll get it to a nice rate, and then it's ready to go. We'll be back in a couple of days to put the cabbages and collies in. Right, you can see we've been weeding these beds. This one here is all done. And our friend James, this one's done, all ready to go. Our salad's going to go in these two. We've worked out, we've decided on that. And this is one that he's working on at the moment. This is going to be our herb bed. These are some of our older herbs, which will still come back, but we've got some fresh ones coming in as well. Right, and this one is going to take our cauliflowers and cabbages. So this is as you can see, the next one down from the potatoes. So it's on our left hand side, and we're going to go through here. We're going to put cabbages on one end and cauliflowers on the top end, and we're going to net these. And the idea of netting them is it's to try and keep off any of the butterflies where they'll come on and lay their eggs, and then you'll have caterpillars on them and they'll just destroy the crop. So we try to protect them in that way. Another way you can do it is by putting a liquid soap, which is you've got to be careful which one you use, but a liquid soap, a non-invasive one, and you can just spray that on as a spray, and the caterpillars don't really like that, but that's a later treatment that you can give to them. Right, there we go. Got cabbages and collies, which are these ones here. We've got our various salad in both of them, which are going over into that bed. Our herbs here, we've got chives, basil, parsley, coriander, also going into the other varieties of herbs that we've got here, which is like the thyme, parsley, and we've got some rosemary as well in there. So they're the beds for them. As you're already aware, you can see our onions, they're coming along quite well. James is about to start putting in the broad beans that Don from the Home Cooked group, they planted seeds. Don, this is your result of your broad beans that you planted. Our potatoes still waiting to push through, but they're doing fine in there in that bed. And we're going to look after the flower bed a bit later, because we don't want to disturb that flower bed, because some of the tulips are still in bud and in bloom, so we want to leave them so we don't disturb them, and we'll replenish that at a later date. Okay, we're going to try and show you some of the ideas what we're doing as we come along. This one here that James is doing now with the broad beans, we're going to try and put a framework up to support them as they grow. Something that we'll do a little bit later on once these have took hold. So that's our plans for that, and we'll come back to you with a bit more of our items of what we're doing on each bed as we go. Okay everyone, so now you can see what we've done is we've taken the cauliflowers and cabbages out of their seed trays, and we've laid them on here ready to be planted in. Now the rule of thumb we're using on this one is
the blade of your trowel.
The actual blade of your trowel is the width guideline that we're using to separate them. Normally if I was doing this at home I would use the full trowel, so from the top of the handle to the tip of the actual blade would be my spacing, but because we're limited to space on this one, we're actually just using the blade itself. So if anyone's thinking of planting them out, you're a bit restricted to room, just the blade, you can see there is the gap, and you use it that side and the distance away, so you bring them in. That's what we're going to do today, but as I said to you before, normally the distance between them would be the full trowel handle I use. That's what I would use. So if I was doing them back on my allotment, I would be using that as a guide, but we're just bringing them in a bit shorter because we want to get as many as we can in. These are the Lola Rosso going in. James has used just his normal judgment because he's experienced at doing it, but if you're not sure, again, use just the blade of your trowel as a distance apart, because you've got to allow them to be able to grow. So these ones here are the salad bowl, and then we're going to move on to be putting the herbs in this one, and they're a bit more random what you will do with the herb bed rather than these ones, because the herbs beds will just grow within their own environment. We've placed these in, you can see some of them are just lying to the side. What we've done there is we've dug a hole for them to go into, and we've placed some water into it, and then now James is following in behind, and as you can see there, he's planting them in, put them in nice and firm, and he tightens it round the neck, and the idea of that is them roots will really work well and start pushing up onto the top end. So what he's doing now at the moment, that's the cauliflowers, and on this end where we've already started planting in, it's the same, exactly the same method right the way along, and these are the cabbages. And then once we're done here, we're going to put a net on it, as we said to you before. That's to keep any of the butterflies, aphids and unwanted guests off them for the early stages, so they're not. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to sprinkle some lime in between these plants. As we said to you before, you normally would do this beforehand. Okay, so James just sprinkling lime in between the plants.
It's the technical part that I don't know about the seed. Well, it just sweetens the soil.
Makes it look easy. And this is a special lime, it's a fertilising lime, am I right, James?
It's horticultural lime.
Yeah, it's not the stuff that you would use for industry. It's, as James just said, it's a horticultural lime, and it does sweeten the soil.
Changes the pH in your soil.
Yeah. What's the pH, James?
Acidic. It's either acidic or alkaline.
Okay, and
So we've used lime, it makes it alkaline.
So it balances it out, okay.
Don't be asking me technical questions, please. Not this time of the day.
Right, so as we go over here to the herb bed, James has already planted out. We've got, let's see if I can do the one-arm bandit sketch. Right, where are we? This fellow here, chives. This one here you can see now right in the middle of the screen, parsley. This little fellow, it's thyme. All the ingredients that you use in your cooking, some of them are dried, fresh is better than anything. Right, this is the netting there James has just put up. As you can see there, plastic piping, bit of green netting. And the basis of it is we actually salvaged this off Liverpool City Council, and they're giving away the netting they used to use at the tennis tournaments. So it is all salvageable stuff. The piping was again something that someone gave to us. And you just cut sections off, hoops over, stays off the actual plants but protects them, as in stops anything going in. So we've got this other piece here that we're going to connect to close up this end, and we're only using odd bits that we've come along with. Right, okay, so these two here look very similar. This fella, and this one, when you look at them leaves, they look very similar, but these are totally different plants. This one here, coriander, it's got a real pungent smell, where parsley is less, but they are equally as important as ingredients into your cooking. But the thing is here, what we are going to do before we leave, we're actually going to label up, because these two plants look similar. You will be able to tell by just the smelling of them, tasting them, which the difference is. However, because the flat leaf parsley looks very similar to the coriander, we will label them up. So if anyone comes along and they're not sure what they're going to be picking or what they want, and they're trying to look for them, we'll put labels in and around them all. Right, so James is actually laying out, these are the salad bowl lettuce. As you see, James is taking them out of their sets and laying them out where he's going to be planting them. So that's the basis of what we're doing here. Keeping them a decent distance where they don't interfere with each other, but they also look after each other and keep a little bit of a blanket for stopping weeds coming through. So it does a bit of a weed suppression, as James just said. And then we're going to do this one with Lollo Rosso. So we'll have salad bowl to our left, and Lollo Rosso will be to our right. Now hopefully what will happen with these, our lettuce, they're just sitting a little bit limp at the moment, but these will start standing up. Bob's going to come and water. We'll put a programme on them when and how these are to be watered. We're thinking it's going to be every other day, and really the items that should be watered and cared for are the lettuce, they'll be every other day. The herbs, again, every other day. The cabbages and collies will be every now and again, depending on the weather conditions, because they should look after themselves. Because what happens is the actual roots go looking for the water, which makes them a stronger plant on top. Same with the potatoes. We may have to water if we've got this dry spell continues. The onions should look after themselves. You can see they're standing nice and proud, and again what they do is exactly the same. They take the roots down, which makes the bulb, which is the onion, grow, and that's the method of it.